welcome. Tonight, imagine a state where your body is utterly still, free from pain or weight, your heart's rhythm unfelt, yet your mind drifts millions of light years away, perhaps soaring through dazzling galaxies, melting into vibrant fractal patterns, or falling endlessly into a timeless abyss where space warps into fragmented memories. Medically, this is dissociative anesthesia, a perfect severance between mind and body, much like an unplugged television where the screen goes blank, but the internal current silently pulses. The key to unlocking this ethereal state is a paradoxical chemical compound, over 60 years old. For a Vietnam field surgeon in 1970, it was a savior for excruciating pain. For a 1990s London clubber, Special K offered an escape into pounding techno beats. For a 21st century psychiatrist, it's a beacon of hope for suicidal depression. Yet, for thousands, it's a nightmare, eroding bodies, destroying organs, and trapping souls in an invisible cage. Its name is ketamine. Tonight, we examine ketamine not as a moral judgment, but as a historical witness, from secret Cold War labs to bomb-laden tropical jungles, from the clandestine corners of underground raves to the opulent, hushed halls of the world's most exclusive psychiatric clinics. Ketamine has charted an extraordinary path. It has permeated every layer of society, a chameleon drug sought for both illicit thrills and profound healing. Its journey mirrors humanity's own desperate search for liberation, an escape from physical agony, from the crushing weight of psychological sorrow, and sometimes from the very confines of the self. This substance offers a profound detachment, a temporary severance from the burdens of existence. But what is the true cost of such profound liberation? Can we genuinely mend our deepest wounds by simply disconnecting from reality? Or are we inadvertently inflicting deeper scars upon the fragile landscape of the soul? These are the complex, unsettling questions that ripple through its controversial history. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax from their tension. Don't worry, you are safe here in your own space. You're not going anywhere, but our story, it's about to travel. It's going to drift back in time to a spring day in 1962. We land in the industrial, smoke-filled city of Detroit, where a dedicated chemist toiled, intent on replacing a monstrous drug with a more elusive, perhaps even more terrifying phantom. This is Chapter 1, The Ghost of PCP and the Nightmare of the Vietnam War. The mid-20th century, specifically the 1950s, was an era celebrated as the golden age of modern medicine. Yet it was also a crucible for some of the most audacious and, frankly, insane experiments ever conceived by humanity. Surgeons of that era yearned for a panacea, a perfect anesthetic. They needed something more potent than morphine, yet far safer than the highly flammable and cumbersome gases like ether or chloroform, which demanded bulky machinery to sustain a patient's breathing. Amidst this desperate search, scientists at Parke-Davis Pharmaceuticals in Detroit unearthed a promising candidate. They codenamed it Sernol, a substance we now notoriously recognize as phencyclidine, or simply PCP. Initially, Sernol appeared nothing short of miraculous. Patients completely lost all sensation of pain. Yet, paradoxically, they remained awake, their eyes open and staring. Crucially, their respiratory and cardiovascular systems functioned normally, unburdened by the suppression common with other sedatives. Surgeons rejoiced, believing they had finally discovered the holy grail of anesthesia. But their elation was tragically short-lived. As patients emerged from Sernol-induced surgery, recovery rooms often devolved into scenes of genuine pandemonium. Screaming, violent outbursts, a terrifying descent into what could only be described as a madhouse. Patients experienced violent agitation, raving about monsters, describing their bodies being torn apart, or feeling suspended in a terrifying, distorted void. A significant percentage, about 15–20%, suffered from delirium lasting hours, sometimes days, with some becoming uncontrollably violent. Medicine quickly realized PCP was no miracle cure. It was angel dust, a horrifying drug that could transform people into aggressive, zombie-like figures. By 1965, PCP was banned for human use, relegated to the realm of veterinary medicine, primarily for tranquilizing monkeys and rhinoceroses. The dream of a perfect anesthetic seemed shattered. Yet, at the Park Davis labs, one chemist refused to abandon hope. His name was Calvin Stevens. Stevens believed the chemical structure of PCP held untapped potential, despite its catastrophic flaws, its excessive potency, prolonged duration, and utterly terrifying psychiatric side effects. Stevens understood the core issue. PCP was simply too powerful, its effects too long-lasting, and its psychiatric side effects too horrific for human application. Undeterred, he embarked on a meticulous process of molecular refinement. He shortened carbon chains, reconfigured bonds, tirelessly working to create a modified version, what he envisioned as a milder, more obedient younger brother to PCP. On Easter Sunday, 1962, Calvin Stevens achieved his breakthrough, successfully synthesizing a new compound. Codenamed CI-581, this compound, containing a ketone and an amine group, gave birth to the name ketamine. Initial animal trials revealed astonishing results. Monkeys given ketamine didn't become violent like those on PCP. Instead, they lay still, eyes open, seemingly completely detached from their surroundings. Crucially, their recovery time was dramatically faster. By 1964, the first human trials were underway, ironically at Jackson Prison in Michigan. Professor Edward Domino, a pharmacologist, oversaw the experiments, administering ketamine to volunteer inmates. The prisoners described their experiences in perplexing terms. "I felt like I was floating in the air. I had no arms or legs. I saw myself looking down at my own body from the ceiling." Professor Domino was perplexed, realizing he needed a new descriptor for this unprecedented state. The challenge for Dr. Batters was to find a medical term for this profound state. He couldn't simply record "patient is getting high" or "dissociating." It was his wife who offered the perfect suggestion. "It's like the mind is detached from the body. Why not call it dissociative?" Thus, the term dissociative anesthesia officially entered medical lexicon. In 1970, the U.S. FDA granted its official approval for ketamine's medical use. The timing, though somber, was remarkably poignant. On the other side of the globe, the Vietnam War was escalating to its brutal peak. The humid jungles, relentless bombardments, and constant combat made field medicine a logistical nightmare. Traditional pain relief, like morphine, suppressed respiration, a critical risk for a soldier in shock. Bulky, fragile, and flammable gas anesthetics were impossible under fire. Ketamine emerged as a unique savior, compact, requiring no complex equipment, making it ideal for the front lines. In the earthly hell of war, ketamine became the final psychological shield for American soldiers. As their shattered bodies lay on blood-soaked operating tables, their minds were set free, soaring through clouds of iridescent color. They felt no pain, becoming invisible observers, detached from the agony and horror. Nicknamed the buddy drug for its ease of use, ketamine unwittingly opened a door to an artificial paradise. Upon waking, many soldiers spoke of near-death experiences, tunnels of light, cosmic unity, and spiritual encounters. They returned home, carrying physical scars, the psychological wounds of PTSD, and memories of an illusory peace that ketamine had granted them. Word of its ability to separate the soul from the body quickly spread beyond those in uniform, to the curious, to spiritual explorers yearning for an alternate reality, an escape from a society rife with unrest. Ketamine began its second journey, leaving the medic's kit to enter mysterious laboratories in the decadent parties of the 1970s, where mind voyagers, psychonauts, waited to launch themselves into the cosmos. As the Vietnam War gradually drew to a close, America faced another battle, one waged within the mind. The hippie movement faded, giving way to the New Age era, where people grew weary of materialism and turned toward meditation and inner exploration. While LSD and psilocybin were criminalized and controlled in the mid-20th century, another powerful substance remained legally available yet largely unnoticed: ketamine. This medical anesthetic lay dormant in hospital cabinets, a sleeping dragon awaiting its awakening. The man who roused it was one of the 20th century's most eccentric minds, Dr. John Lilly. Far from a street addict, Lilly was a brilliant neuroscientist, a pioneer in researching dolphin intelligence. Yet, he harbored a profound obsession: isolation. He yearned to understand what happened to the human brain when completely severed from external stimuli. No light, no sound, no gravity. This quest led him to invent the sensory deprivation tank. It was a sealed, dark chamber filled with high-concentration Epsom salt water, heated precisely to body temperature. Floating effortlessly within, free from the sensation of gravity, enveloped in absolute darkness and profound silence, the brain, starved of signals from the senses, would begin to conjure its own realities. For John Lilly, mere sensory deprivation was not enough. He decided to inject ketamine before entering the isolation tank, playfully calling it vitamin K. Imagine that experience: your physical body dissolving into the warm saline, your mind separated from your brain by the dissociative effects of ketamine. Lilly vividly described journeying through multiple dimensions, encountering extraterrestrial entities, and conversing with wise dolphins. He firmly believed he had connected with a universal consciousness network he termed the ECHO, Earth Coincidence Control Office. Through Lilly's lens, ketamine transformed from a simple anesthetic into a spiritual spaceship. His documented experiences captivated a growing number of curious psychonauts, mental explorers who sought not recreation, but profound journeys. They believed that within each human lay a vast inner cosmos, as expansive as the galaxy itself, and ketamine was the fuel to navigate it. Yet, the line between profound exploration and perilous disorientation remained dangerously thin. The tragedy of Mesa most painfully illustrates this. A woman of immense privilege, Sheraton heiress, astrologer, and a beautiful educated socialite, her life seemed perfect. In 1976, at 48, she discovered ketamine, instantly loving her ketamine goddess. She saw it as a divine shortcut, a journey into the bright world, promising eternal youth. Her daily use escalated, leading to complete immersion in hallucinations. She neglected reality, food, and safety. In winter 1979, Massamos vanished, last seen entering a dense Washington forest. A national search failed. 2 years later, in 1981, hunters found her skeletal remains. Police concluded she injected a powerful ketamine dose, wandered into the freezing woods, and, unaware of the cold, succumbed to hypothermia. She likely died gazing at a starry sky, lost in visions of a bright world. Massimo sought eternal light, but found only cold, dark solitude. Her death was the first warning. The ketamine goddess was a seductive, yet ruthless, killer. A lesson quickly forgotten as the 1980s began. The turn of the millennium marked a seismic shift in global consciousness. The introspective era of spirituality receded, giving way to an age defined by hedonism, pleasure, and uninhibited self-indulgence. In this new landscape, ketamine, ever the chameleon, underwent its most radical metamorphosis yet. It shed the sterile white coat of the surgeon and cast off the monastic robes of John C. Lilly's esoteric explorations. No longer confined to the laboratory or the isolation tank, ketamine embraced a dazzling new identity. From the pulsating underground clubs of London to the sun-drenched shores of Ibiza, it was no longer known by its clinical designations like KY581 or vitamin K. Instead, whispered amongst the throngs of revelers, it found its true calling, its ultimate moniker: Special K. This was its grand entrance onto the world stage of exhilaration. The 1990s roared to life, a decade consumed by the whirlwind of rave culture and the relentless pulse of electronic music. Across the globe, from the cavernous, forgotten warehouses of England to the vibrant, sun-soaked beaches of Ibiza, Spain, and even the clandestine underground clubs nestled in Goa, India, the world vibrated with an undeniable energy. Every venue, every space became a sanctuary, thrumming under the intoxicating rhythm of techno, often hitting a relentless 140 beats per minute. A new generation, Generation X, yearned for release. They craved an escape, a desire to dance until dawn, to momentarily forget the anxieties of economic recession, and to forge connections rooted in a profound mantra: peace, love, unity, respect. Imagine a pulsating dance floor in the late 90s. Suddenly, amidst the chaos, someone freezes, eyes vacant, mouth agape, a ketamine zombie. Disconnected, their mind launched into another dimension, leaving behind a hollow shell. This eerie sight marked the ketamine epidemic sweeping Hong Kong in the early 2000s. Incredibly cheap, sometimes less than a lunch, it became rampant among students. 15-year-olds in KTVs, noses dusted white, often rushed to the bathroom, their bladders ravaged beyond repair. What was the macabre allure? Psychologists believe ketamine mirrored its era. Unlike LSD's quest for world change, 60s, or ecstasy's drive for connection, 80s, ketamine of the 90s and 2000s symbolized a fervent desire to disappear. In a world overwhelmingly loud and saturated with information, people sought to turn off their minds, craving a brief escape from themselves. Ketamine offered this vanishing act cheaply, but peace borrowed from chemicals demands brutal repayment. Returning from the K-hole, users faced agonizing pains, bleeding from destroyed bladders. Their bodies screamed in fierce retribution. This is the grim reality of Chapter 4, The Price of Oblivion. Unlike heroin or alcohol, stopping ketamine use doesn't trigger severe physical withdrawal symptoms like tremors or vomiting. This absence often leads to a dangerous misconception. Many believe it's benign, but they are profoundly mistaken. Ketamine is a silent, insidious destroyer. It doesn't attack immediately. Instead, it slowly erodes the body. The human body is simply not designed to process large amounts of anesthetic every day. When ketamine enters the system, the liver works to break it down into other substances for excretion via the urinary tract. However, these chemical crystals are razor-sharp, like microscopic shards of glass. Imagine your bladder, a soft, elastic sac. Now, picture millions of these tiny glass fragments constantly scraping against its walls day after day. The horrifying medical consequence is a condition known as ketamine-induced ulcerative cystitis. Doctors in the UK and Hong Kong in the early 2000s were suddenly confronted with severe cases they had never encountered in medical textbooks. Young adults, often barely 20 years old, were admitted to hospitals with bladders so severely damaged, scarred, and shrunken they were reduced to the size of a walnut. Their lives became a constant nightmare of pain and urgency. These patients couldn't hold urine for more than 10 minutes. They experienced excruciating pain while urinating, passing fresh blood and sloughed pieces of their bladder lining. The agony was frequently described as akin to urinating razor blades. But the urinary tract damage isn't the only nightmare. Another harrowing condition known as ketamine cramps plagues users. This manifests as excruciating, violent spasms in the upper abdomen, a sensation akin to one's internal organs being twisted and wrung out. The most cruel and tragic irony lies in the immediate, albeit temporary, relief. The only way to alleviate these agonizing cramps instantly is to consume more ketamine. This creates a terrifying, hellish cycle, using the drug to escape pain, only for the drug itself to inflict even greater suffering, driving the user back to the very substance that destroys them. While physical pain, however severe, can often be medically intervened with, the psychological torment is far more complex and enduring. While physical pain, however excruciating, can eventually be addressed through medical intervention, perhaps surgery to remove a damaged bladder and lifelong use of an ostomy bag, psychological pain proves far more elusive to heal. Ketamine fosters addiction in a profoundly unique manner. It is, for many, an addiction to disappearance. For individuals grappling with deep emotional wounds, be it profound loneliness, debilitating depression, or unresolved past traumas, the dissociative state induced by ketamine offers the only semblance of peace. They aren't chasing euphoria. Instead, they are desperately seeking the sensation of simply being nobody, a profound escape from the crushing weight of their own existence. They yearn for an invisible cocoon, free from responsibility, memory, and pain. The tragic tale of Matthew Perry, beloved as Chandler Bing, is a poignant example. Matthew fought addiction his whole life. Later, he used ketamine therapy for depression, finding initial relief, describing it as a giant breath. But the line between healing and abuse blurred. The profound peace ketamine offered became too tempting, leading him to exceed prescribed doses, seeking deeper dissociation. On that fateful October day in 2023, in a hot tub, a high ketamine dose relaxed his body completely. His mind drifted, soaring amidst stars, while his body sank. He passed in eternal dissociation, painless yet solitary. His death isn't a ketamine indictment but a tragic reminder. Even salvific medicine can turn deadly if used to escape, not confront. Is ketamine a monster, or is it how we use it? Because even now, ketamine performs true miracles elsewhere, pulling thousands back from the brink. By 2025, research on ketamine continues to explode, particularly in treating PTSD and treatment-resistant depression. Real-world studies in community clinics show that over 80% of PTSD patients report better sleep, reduced anxiety, fewer trauma triggers, and improved quality of life after ketamine therapy. Patients with PTSD often start with more severe depression and anxiety, yet they improve just as much as those without PTSD. A large-scale retrospective analysis in 2025 confirms that ketamine intravenous therapy, KIT, significantly reduces PTSD symptoms and comorbid depression, even in cases without major depressive disorder. For veterans, meta-analyses highlight high effectiveness in alleviating chronic pain, depression, and PTSD. However, some 2025 studies indicate that combining ketamine with psychotherapy does not always outperform ketamine alone, especially for depression. The global ketamine clinic market reaches approximately USD 1.5 billion in 2025, with hundreds of independent clinics in the US and strong projected growth driven by esketamine and off-label use. Ketamine stands out for its rapid action via glutamate and MDA antagonism, providing dissociation that allows distant observation of issues, ideal for acute depression or suicidal ideation. Psilocybin, from magic mushrooms, creates profound spiritual experiences, reducing default mode network activity and promoting long-term perspective shifts. Suitable for treatment-resistant depression and addiction, MDMA boosts empathy and oxytocin, opening emotional expression. Perfect for PTSD and trauma therapy. Ketamine effects last hours to days and require repetition. Psilocybin and MDMA last 4-6 hours but provide benefits for months, often needing integration therapy. In 2025, ketamine remains the only widely legal option for therapy. Psilocybin and MDMA stay mostly in trials, though MDMA faces rejection for PTSD approval due to trial concerns. It is not yet approved. As of 2025, ketamine is Schedule III in the U.S., legal for medical and off-label use, including depression therapy, but recreational use is illegal. Esketamine, Spravato. Nasal spray has restricted approval for treatment-resistant depression with REMS monitoring. In the UK, it is Class B, with ongoing reviews for potential reclassification to Class A due to rising abuse. Hong Kong and many Asian countries enforce strict controls following early 2000s epidemics. Globally, medical use is legal but tightly monitored to prevent diversion. Recreational use is illegal everywhere. No country allows free recreational ketamine. Early signs of addiction include rapidly increasing tolerance, frequent use to relieve cramps or seek disappearance, and prioritizing the drug over responsibilities. Recreational abuse in the U.S. rises, with poisonings and seizures hitting record highs in 2023-2024. Stopping early can reverse bladder damage. Late cases may require permanent surgery. Seek reputable clinics, supervised doctors, or professional support. Never self-medicate. Ketamine saves lives at the right dose, but abuse leads to a silent hell. For many, the struggle with depression becomes a daily, monthly battle against an invisible adversary. Despite consistent medication, the dark clouds in their minds refuse to lift, and the relentless urge for suicide persists. For these individuals, conventional medicine seemed to have reached its limits, leaving them without hope. It was in this desperate landscape that researchers took a second look at an old drug, known simply as ketamine. What they uncovered was nothing short of revolutionary, a completely new mechanism of action. Unlike traditional antidepressants that primarily target serotonin, ketamine bypassed this familiar pathway entirely. Instead, it interacts with a different, equally vital system in the brain, one centered around glutamate, the brain's most abundant and crucial neurotransmitter. To truly grasp the profound impact of ketamine, imagine the brain of someone enduring chronic depression. It's akin to a tree in the depths of winter. Its branches, the vital neural connections or synapses, have withered, becoming brittle and breaking off. Essential signals can no longer traverse these broken pathways, leaving the brain in a state of profound disconnection. Traditional antidepressants in this analogy are like carefully applying fertilizer to this dormant tree. While beneficial, this process is slow, often requiring weeks or even months for any signs of recovery. Ketamine, however, acts with astonishing speed and efficacy. It's a sudden, nourishing spring rain. Within mere hours of a precisely administered very small dose, far below what causes anesthesia or recreational effects, ketamine dramatically stimulates the regrowth of these crucial neural connections, effectively repairing the hardware of the brain. It helps these previously isolated brain regions reconnect and communicate once more. The scientific community's findings were groundbreaking. leading to a monumental shift in psychiatric care. In 2019, the FDA officially approved a nasal spray containing esketamine, a precise derivative of ketamine, specifically for patients suffering from treatment-resistant depression. This landmark decision was heralded as the most significant breakthrough in psychiatry in over half a century. Yet, the true marvel of ketamine therapy extends beyond its molecular mechanics. The most compelling aspect lies in the profound and often transformative experiences of the patients themselves. Within modern, legally sanctioned ketamine clinics, the therapeutic process is carefully curated. Patients are never alone. They recline comfortably in chairs, wearing eye masks, enveloped by soothing music, with a dedicated psychiatrist present. As the medication takes hold, they gently enter a mild dissociative state, a unique space where they feel distinctly detached from the intense pains and anxieties that have long tormented them. One patient eloquently shared their experience. "I vividly saw my depression, not as an abstract feeling, but as a tangible tumor, an ugly, black lump within me. But astonishingly, in that dissociative state, I found I was no longer afraid of it. I could observe it, truly understand its nature, and finally, consciously choose to let it go." This very dissociation, once dismissed as a potentially dangerous side effect of the drug, has now been reevaluated and embraced as a powerful therapeutic tool. It grants individuals the unique ability to metaphorically step outside their immediate, injured self. From this detached vantage point, they can observe their life's narrative and their struggles with a newfound compassion, gaining an objective clarity that was previously impossible. It offers them a critical mental respite, a much-needed break from the relentless grip of their illness. Ketamine's remarkable journey, from veterinary anesthetic to street drug, now culminates as a life-saving therapy for severe depression. It offers a crucial respite from despair, reminding individuals of peace and, sometimes, providing the vital impetus to choose life. As Paracelsus famously noted, "The dose makes the poison." Ketamine epitomizes this, a neutral molecule without inherent good or evil. It acts as an angel in the hands of a battlefield medic, a guide for spiritual exploration, and a savior pulling the severely depressed back from the brink. Yet, in abuse, it transforms into a devil, eroding lives on dance floors and offering a deceptive escape for the lost. Its evolution mirrors our own human quest for solace and healing, perpetually navigating the thin line between use and abuse, medicine and poison, reality and illusion. We should neither fear nor idolize it, but understand its complex role. Ultimately, true, lasting solace isn't found in a substance, but in profound connection with others, with nature, and most importantly, with our authentic, conscious selves. As our journey together concludes, remember, there's no need to search for peace elsewhere. You are, in this very moment, precisely where you are meant to be. Allow yourself to settle, to truly inhabit your space. Take a slow, deep breath, feeling your chest rise and fall with gentle rhythm, and release it with a soft sigh. Feel the soothing, comforting weight upon your eyelids, a signal of profound relaxation. Let your mind become a calm river, not rushing into the unknown, but flowing gently towards a state of deep, undisturbed slumber. This isn't an ending, but a pause, a moment for profound rest and rejuvenation. May your night be filled with tranquility, and may you awaken refreshed, ready for new chapters. We look forward to connecting with you again, as the story continues in different forms, in new reflections. Until then, sleep peacefully.